behalf of the Sahyadri College, I welcome all the dignitaries of the day. Today we have along with us Sri K. Panjaraj, former Minister, Tamil Nadu. Also we have Srimati Uma Devi SY, CEO and Member Advisory Council, PES Trust, Mr. Raman Madhav, Managing Director, Kahani Design Works, Maharashtra, Professor Nagabhushana TN, Executive Director, East-West Group of Institutions, Bangalore. Also we have College Principal, Director Research, Dr. Manjappa Sarathi, College Principal, Dr. Rajesh Iyer, Department Head of Basic Science, Dr. Prashant Rao. Also we have Secretary of Bandari Foundation, Mrs. Prasanna Ma'am, College Trustees, Mr. Jagannath Chauta and Mr. Devraj Hegde, Deans of different heads. I welcome the guests to the stage. I request College Principal, Dr. Rajesh Iyer to escort the guests. So to enlighten us and brighten our morning, let's begin with prayer by Shivani and team. The program with formal welcome. I request our resourceful principal and all-time motivator of Sahyadrians, Dr. Rajesh S. to welcome formally.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, the faculty members, my dear students, very good morning. Sorry for the delay in start the program because of GC meeting. We have discussions on universities and how the institute has to be grown further. Today we have a gathering here for our annual festival Freshers Day. For the information of our guests, Sahyadri have two flagship initiatives from 2013. The foundation course, which a week program to strengthen the fundamentals of student science and mathematics, and also teach the application. And then the bridge course, which teach the conventional learning to the activity-based learning. The student has to develop the models and compete each other in the various of competitions, and build the STEAM spirit as well as leadership quality, followed by AECT specified student induction program. Then these freshers programs normally held after this completion of these courses programs, but unfortunately because of pandemic and overlapping of university academic calendar, we are unable to conduct these programs and get delayed. Today we are here with the 15th batch and first batch of autonomous students, the Freshers Day, Howrah 2022. On this occasion, today we are here with eminent personalities who have achieved many milestones in inspired you. Firstly, Sri Pandarajan, the former Minister of Tamil Nadu and entrepreneur. Thank you very much for accepting our invitations and being present. I have Srimati Uma Devi, the CEO and member advisory council and entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur. Madam, your presence is delightful, and thank you for accepting our invitation to be present. Welcome you, ma'am. Also, we have with our Professor Nagabhushan, Executive Director, East-West Group of Institution and former Principal, HSCE. So, welcome you for this Howrah 2022, sir. We welcome you, the Srimati Prasanna Bandari, the Secretary, Pandari Foundation. Welcome you, ma'am. Also welcome you, the Director of Research and the Professor representing you, the Prashant Rao, the Basic Science Professor and Head of the representative. I wish extended a heartily welcome to the trustees, Jagannath Chowta and Devdas Hegde, Deans, HODs and family, faculty, staff members and media persons and my dear students. On behalf of Sahyadri, once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now I request Principal Sir to formally florally welcome the guests. As former Minister Tamil Nadu, Srimati Uma Devi SY, CEO and Member Advisory Council PS Trust. Professor Nagachu, Director, East-West Group of Institutions, Bangalore. The knowledge, I request all our guests to lighten the lamp of
Pandarajan is one of the most well-respected business leaders in India with more than 30 years of experience in management and human resources. As the founder of Marcoy Management Consultants, he was at the forefront of the transformational changes that swept the HR landscape over the last 2 decades and pioneered the HR outsourcing concept in India. After his pioneering role in defining the HR industry, he moved to the consulting analytics and education businesses with the incorporation of Marfoy Strategic Consultants Private Limited as a holding company in the year 2012. He is the founder, trustee of Sornamal Educational Trust, STT, and the Marfoy Foundation that has touched the lives of more than 1 lakh families through its education, healthcare, and livelihood schemes. K. Pandiyarajan keenly believes in the fundamental principle of empowerment at all levels and is actively involved in CSR activities that focuses on empowering children, women and youth through education, healthcare and livelihood support. He is the former Tamil Nadu State Minister handling portfolios of school education, youth and sports, culture and Tamil development. Former MLA of Avadi and Virudunagar Assembly constituencies and made significant improvements in the infrastructure and essential services. Various projects were initiated and executed with a long-term perspective. He is the author of You Are Appointed and Ayrathil Oruvan, career guidance books in Tamil for youth and has motivated more than 1 million of students through his speeches. K. Pandiyarajan has groomed a number of young entrepreneurs and has been the founding member of institutions like Native Lead, Young Entrepreneur School YES and Chennai Angels. Now I request Mr. Pandiyarajan to speak few words.
Such a pleasure to be in front of you on the invitation of my friend, Mr. Manjunath Bandari, whose vision has been translated into a phenomenal institution, Sahyadri. And let me have the pleasure of welcoming the 15th batch into the portals of this august institution. It's so happy a day for me personally to be able to come and spend a few minutes with you. My mind goes back 46 years ago when I was sitting like this as the fresher in an engineering college, and I see the nostalgia of the yesteryears consume me so much I'm speechless. So happy to wish each one of you all the best. Lots of changes have happened over the last 5 decades in engineering education. Many things. In those days when I was passing out of my alma mater, a similar college, there were hardly about 250 engineering colleges at that time. And today, we are talking of thousands of colleges. It's such a matter of pride that you are part of a college which is ranked as one of the top 10 in India. And I'd really like you to applaud yourself that you've entered the portals of this institution, which not only gives you academic exposure, but also attempts to stimulate the entrepreneur in you. You see the kind of changes India has been through over the last 50 years, especially the last 8 years. There have been tumultuous changes. You know, many of you have come from lower middle class families, even poor families, I was told. I was going through a profile of you, and the kind of transformation you can give to yourself in the next 4 years is what I want to speak to you about. I was introduced as a politician and a minister. More than that, I'm basically an engineer, and I've always remained true to the spirit of engineering in my life. I've run a company, I'm running a company. I've also been a minister of education and culture, but really that's much less time than what I've spent in the world of business and entrepreneurship. So I wanted to tell you, my young friends, some of the changes I see happening around you, around us, where people who are really kind of no background have emerged as entrepreneurs par excellence. And the 4 years that you spend here will give you ample opportunities to not only learn engineering, but also learn about the world of business and entrepreneurship. You know, my father was a worker in a match factory, but I could run a company which could give jobs to to more than 4 lakhs of people. And such things are possible in today's new economy. Such things are possible where each of you can be job givers rather than job seekers. I was very delighted to see almost 20 companies operate in this campus. You could be leading one of them. You could be leading a new business which can turn a unicorn. I just the other day met one friend of mine who has just become a unicorn. Unicorn means a company which has a value of more than $1 billion within very few years of its incorporation. You may not have heard the name, and let me first thank the people who've given me the opportunity. Dr. Rajesh Shah, very delighted to meet Madam Uma Devi, who's running a similar college, and Professor Nagapushna, Dr. Manjappa, and Dr. Prashant Rao for giving this opportunity to stand before you for a few minutes. And I wanted to tell you, if I were to gist out the key changes which today are happening around us, I want to say that with a question which I like you to respond. What do you think the world is? What shape is the world? How many people say the world is round? Raise your hands. The world is round or elliptical? Raise your hands. How many people say the world is flat? Raise your hands. Flat? Yes, who's that? Yeah. Okay, just get up. What's your name? Yeah, get up. Yeah. What's your name? Okay. Anybody else who says the world is flat and not round? Okay, sit down. For a long time, people thought the world is actually flat. And there was one person who said the world is not flat, it's actually elliptical. Who's that person? A few hundred years ago. Yes. Just share. See, one of the first things I want you to know, any college you study, always ask questions, always respond. The days are gone when a student can be a recipient and pass through life in general. Yeah, anyone who can say who first said the world is not flat, but it's actually elliptical? Galileo, absolutely right. So Galileo, when he said that, what did the world give him? Did it give it Nobel Prize? Huh? Poison. Yeah, he was actually poisoned to death. Because at that time, the kind of authorities, the authorities who were largely religious people in the world, who were running the World Science Council, saw that as heresy. Saw that as an act against God at that point in time. And they actually poisoned him to death. Many years later, what he said was proven to be scientific truth. And after that, he was glorified as a pioneer, as a visionary, as someone who could see things beyond himself, beyond his time. Much later, there was another person who wrote a book, like the gentleman there, who said, world is flat. The guy called Thomas. And he came up and wrote this book, and the book became a bestseller, The World is Flat. What he said, this was written about 20 years ago, when he said, there are many changes happening among us, amidst us, which is having an impact as though the world has become flat. I want to just take a few minutes to help you understand this. The changes like advent of internet, the changes like advent of outsourcing, the changes like engineering and technology converging together. Many of these Thomas Friedman, who wrote this book, says have changed the world upside down within about 10 years in the last decade of the century. And the reason, which is he calls us the grand levelers of time, have made one big transition as far as careers are concerned. Careers like engineering or technology or management or science, any career that you undertake, one of the big changes is that if you have a scale where one pan has wealth, another pan has ideas, the pan carrying ideas is going down and the pan carrying richness is going up. What it means is that anyone can create a company with ideas and not with money per se. Like for instance, today there are angel investors, there are today venture capitalists, private equity, and people like them who could actually support a person with an idea. That's why in Sahyadri, I'm very happy to note that from the first year, they identify the spark of creativity, the spark of entrepreneurship, and support you convert that idea into a business entity. I see in this college the most unique aspect to be to turn you from job seekers to job creators. And that is to me, my dear friends, the key which is there in today's economy, today's Indian economy, today's world economy. It's the entrepreneurs who kind of move growth, accelerate growth and things like that. The world is flat talks about how a country which invests in ideas will flourish in the new age economy. What is this new age economy today? How are these people becoming unicorns? Someone whom I know, a guy called Matrubudam, who was from a very lower middle class family, today has taken his company and getting listed in NASDAQ in US. And all the 323 people who work for him have become crorpatis, who have become actually crorpatis, every one of the employee in the company. Imagine, was it possible even about 20 years back, 30 years back, 40 years back? Not really. The new economy in its wake is bringing in opportunities for every one of you. The 700 of you who are sitting here. If you have an idea, there is funding to support your idea. I had an idea in the year 2000 when we were a small company, and at that time there were 3 words and phrases which started assuming a new meaning. A word like value, for instance, which everybody knows it's a normal English word, but many people didn't understand the new meaning of the word value. Another phrase called business model, a phrase called venture capital. Each of these started assuming new meanings, which would mean someone sitting in front of me, 18-year-old, 19-year-old person, girl, boy, you can bring an idea to become a company and actually become millionaires even before you turn 20 when you are in college. Almost 15% of the businesses in US are created in the campuses. And in India, now it's also happening. If in this college you have created 20 companies, I'm sure people here can create much more. You don't have to be the son of Ratan Tata or grandson of Aditya Birla in order to become an entrepreneur. The distinction between someone who has an idea, someone who has the money, both need not be the same persons. That's a very, very important turn in the new economy. And what is a platform? Everybody talks of platforms now. Everybody talks of platform thinking. The phrase itself is hardly 20-year-old. In the sense, this idea of building a platform is only 20-year-old. And today, almost every one of the 1,000+ unicorns which are in the world, out of which 85 of them are from India, All the unicorn creators have attempted at some kind of a platform. Platform means, you all know a railway platform. Someone comes, train comes, someone gets in, someone gets out, the train keeps going. The platform is a facilitative mechanism for the users and the service offerers to come together. It's a simple concept. If you actually look at some of the platforms here, Ola, a ride-hailing platform, where all that they've done is to change the way that you call a cab, to change the way a cab owner actually commits it to a larger pool, where an asset-light model of the company not owning the cars, but the cars being available for service to the person who wants it. You know, if you look at each of these unicorns, the idea may sound very simple. Why did it not work? Why didn't we not know that earlier? Kind of a thing. And every one of them is very, very simple idea. As someone said, I read a book which I wanted to leave you with finally. Every street is paved with gold. But not all of us are endowed with the eyes to see it as gold. You know, in this very place, if you actually allow your small little voice of conscience to speak to you, there must be 1,000 ideas right here on the banks of Netravati. If you actually allow you to hear the inner voice, there will be many business ideas. And read through the stories of these 85 unicorns. You know, as someone said, I'm just coming from the governing council, one of them said, only 25% of your learning takes place inside the classroom. 25% of the learning happens through the experiences that you generate for yourself while you are in the campus. The kind of interactions you have with one another, the kind of discussions you have with one another, it is nowhere it's more true than me. For instance, when I started my company with 60,000 rupees, I had 276 of my classmates from my engineering time, my MBA time, and from my wife's classmates. You know, people, 276 of them invested in my company. It's because of the relationships which we built during the campus. During the campus, living together, why you're given only 6-7 hours of classroom is because you have to spend at least 6-7 hours of relationship building among yourself, learning from each other, investing in one another. To me, that's as equal to the learning which you have in classroom setting. Then, of course, comes the experience that you have of different kinds, the live project work and everything, and of course, the co-curricular activities. All of them teach you perspectives and skills. So I just want you, my dear friends, to stay with this thought that every street is paved with gold. Ideas are much more powerful than the money that you need to invest in an idea. And all that today has been distinguished out. Maybe one of you could create the next unicorn to come out of India. Sahyadri provides you that kind of an opportunity to be a creator of new businesses, creator of new concepts, and of course, be great engineers. The engineering gives you the analytical and of course integrative skills to be an entrepreneur, and you are much more better positioned than any other discipline to kind of create organizations. May God give you all the wisdom, may God give you all the experience that you need for being job generators and not be job seekers. On that note, let me thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity. All the very best. May you become great creators of the future of India. All the best. Thank you.
I now request Ms. Bhavana to introduce our chief guest, Srimati Uma Devi, SY, CEO and Member Advisory Council, PES Trust.
Managing a BPO company and supervising diversified businesses, which includes manufacturing firms, hospitals, hotels, automobile, real estate cars, etc. She is a pioneer in setting up of required business processes, supervising finance, HR and day-to-day administration of business firms. She brings 29 years of experience in managing and directing corporate efforts to the table. Having spent over 10 years in the complex environment of BPL Limited, her strong entrepreneurial spirit and deep insight on the potential opportunity encouraged her to set up her own BPO company called Candor Business Solutions in Bangalore during the year 2004. She is also an educationist serving as CEO of PES Trust and advisor of SVBS Trust. These trusts are running more than 14 education institutions for about 7,000 students of Shimoga district. Srimati Uma Devi is a technical committee member of KUPECA. Leadership skills developed in various managerial roles are based by the strong education background. Srimati Uma Devi has done her MCom in 1992. She is the first rank holder and gold medalist in business taxation from Mysore University. Now I request Srimati Uma Devi ma'am to speak few words.
Pandirajan, Dr. Nagabhushan, Professor Rajesh, Professor Manjappa, Professor Prashant, and after the Secretary of this Trust, Srimati Prasanna, all the head of the department, faculty members, supporting staff, dear students. Good afternoon to you all. To begin with, let me welcome as a GC member of this institution all the new students to Sahyadri Institute family on this remarkable day of her life. I do understand college management will value each and every new member as a very prominent member of this community. As we all are aware, last 2 years has been very difficult like any other sector. For education sector also, we were not meeting in person. Good that at least now the third wave of COVID has gone and we all are here to meet in person. And I am sure you all are very happy to enjoy your student life once again. But as of now, yes, it is okay. We really don't know what is in our stock because world has already started talking about the fourth wave of COVID. And I am sure you all are well experienced, to know how to manage the next wave, if any at all. Dear students, I have experience of, as they introduced, handling our own education institution for the last 15 years. Without taking much time, I would like to address one basic problem of the engineering students. I hope this is not applicable here at Sahyadri College, but what I am facing at my education institution. Most of the students are here, scoring, at least minimum 70-80%, in their 12th standard or PUC here. They have never heard the word of fail or backlog in their life, most of them, right? So as soon as you join engineering course, I do not know what happens. Suddenly your determination will go somewhere. You will start, getting used to hearing the words of backlog, fail, and clearing all the semesters without backlog becomes such a big deal for you all after providing so much of facilities from your parents and at the institution level, right? At my college, I do have even instances where parents wouldn't know that their students will still have a backlog. They presume they would have completed engineering, whereas students will still have a backlog and they will keep a communication gap with their own parents saying that they are still not an engineer. So there are such instances as well. So I don't know what miracles you do after 12th standard. Parents will be chasing you, until your PUC that, what is your course-wise performance. As soon as you start, your engineering course, parents will also, limit their love and affection only to the dining tables while serving you the food. They wouldn't know the subjects, how many subjects you have, whether you have backlog, what for, you have paid towards the, training facilities, whether you are attending the training classes, who is your mentor. This kind of a communication gap starts between the parents, students and the institutions. So through you all, I humbly request to pass a message to parents as well to continue to keep a track on our academic performances even throughout the BTech course. We do understand next 4 years is going to be very important from the enjoyment perspective of your student life, but at the same time hope you all agree with me that the 4 years is also going to be make it or break it time for the rest of your life as well, right? So please never forget the basic purpose with which you have joined the engineering course, focusing on academic excellence. Otherwise, your life will not lead anywhere. This institution already has many laurels, this being a flagship institution of Mangalore. Just now we were having the governing council meeting, so we have gone through the track record and it has its own achievement through the years of hard work in all the dimensions under the able leadership of Dr. Manjunath Bandari. I humbly request all the students to continue this legacy, add more value to the institution by turning out to be excellent individual after 4 years when you go out of this campus. With this little piece of advice, I wish all the students to enjoy student life during the next forthcoming years. Please keep up your mental and physical health to build a better tomorrow. Thank you very much.
We have with us Professor T. N. Nagabhushana, Executive Director of East-West Group of Institutions. Professor has completed his BE in Electrical Engineering from Sri Jayachamarajendra College of Engineering in 1984. He has completed ME from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore in 1989 and PhD from Indian Institute of Science in 1997. Professor T. N. Nagabhushana has well over 36 plus years teaching and research experience, UG and PG at Sri Jayachamarajendra College of Engineering. Professor has also worked as visiting professor in Korea University. Sir also have 14 plus years of administrative experience as Special Officer of VTU, Principal at JSS ATE Noida, Principal at SJC Mysuru and also as Executive Director EWGI Bengaluru. Sir has also supervised 9 PhD theses to successful completion for various universities in Karnataka. He has helped various projects for Nokia and Microsoft University relations under his guidance by receiving grants close to 1,05,000 euros. For his outstanding work, Sir has figured in World's Who's Who in 2009, 2018 and 2019 edition. He has also received Best Engineering Professional by International Biographical Centre, Cambridge, UK 2010. Sir has also chaired international conferences in JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida 2015 and Sri Jayachamarajendra College of Engineering, Mysuru in 2016. Sir has served many technical committees and selection panels. He has authored many books such as Self-Instruction Material SIM on Computer Cognition, Computer Networks and Multimedia Communication for Kuimpu University Distance Education Program in Information Technology. Sir has over 72 paper publications in journals and conferences and has also reviewed over 8 international journals. Now I request Mr. T. N. Nagabhushana to speak a few words.
Chief Guest Srimati Uma Devi, CEO and Member Advisory Council PS Trust, Dr. Manjappa, Director Research, and Sri K. Pandya-Rajan, former Minister and Engineer, a well-established entrepreneur from Tamil Nadu, and all the distinguished members of the teaching faculty, and my dear young students. I am delighted to be here today morning, standing before you to share my thoughts. All of you are basically very keen to listen what actually you are going to listen. We have told many things actually since the starting of this function, and the experts have shared their knowledge. But most of you have joined with some kind of an aspiration, right? So there is a reason behind choosing this institution, and there is a reason behind choosing a particular program. Okay? And what is most important in the 21st century education system is to be understood before you start your journey. So I want all of you to keep your mind's eye wide open, listen for next 5-10 minutes that could basically serve as a kind of transformational force for you. At the end of next 4 years, you need to assess what you are today and what you are going to be at the end of 4 years. This is very important for all of you. I have seen engineering students across the country, Friends, there are more than 3,500 engineering colleges in India, and more than 15 lakh graduates are coming out every year, and among them only 15 to 20% are directly deployable in the industry. The remaining students, for various reasons, they cannot really get into industry. This is the kind of scenario in this country over the last 1 or 2 decades. Even today things are not changed much. Why this gap is arising is because the students who enter into the portal of education system do not plan appropriately. You need to plan what is the purpose of this engineering and what exactly you are going to take away. The takeaways are more important and significant for each one of you. And I know that over the last 1 year, you have spent a lot of time in studying physics, chemistry and biology, preparing for common entrance examination, aspiring to get the maximum rank and so on, and ultimately you have landed here, right? But what are those preparations? Are they going to really give you some kind of knowledge and energy? Can you take away some questions and answer? If I ask a question which is outside your syllabus, can you answer those questions? So this is something you need to really go beyond the 12th standard education system. In engineering, the first year is basically an extended pre-university, in the sense that we will introduce you all the formal concepts of science, engineering and mathematics. Chemistry, physics and mathematics are integral part of even engineering, medicine and everything basically around you. They are basically integrated together by these 3 important subjects. These subjects basically give you the knowledge, and through various branches of engineering you are translating this knowledge into products and applications, be it civil engineering or mechanical engineering or computer science or AI and machine learning, what people are really aspiring to become later on. So everything is basically combined together. 21st century jobs are going to be very complex. We don't know what kind of jobs that are going to get created in 10 years time down the line. And even after 4 years of your journey here, even if you get employed in the industry, you have to really keep changing and checking the new knowledge, keep learning new things to become sustainable in the industry, because industry themselves do not know what products are going to come. But one of the important things that you need to understand here, the jobs are going to get created in a technology which is changing rapidly. So in the sense that these technologies are going to change means the knowledge is also changing, your skill levels are also changing. For the first time I am introducing the word skill. Whatever you ready, you are ready with the knowledge or you read the textbook or study in the classrooms here for the examination sakes, they are going to be only momentary. Unless you keep on adding layers of knowledge on whatever you have studied all through your journey, then only you will become a very significant person in the competitive industry. Friends, you know that the opportunities are global. It is not confined to only Bangalore or within India, but outside India also. Your system is accredited and it is going to be Tier 1 institution, and under the class of National Board of Accreditation, your credits can be transferred to an American university or any of the 16 developed countries. You don't need to do such courses repetitively if you go for a master's degree program. That's the kind of privilege that you have from this particular institution. So what is most important is the idea, the thinking, the creative thinking is most important. Whatever subject you study, you attend a seminar, you do a practical, you have a group discussion, you take an industrial visit, that has to have a tangible outcomes, a measurable outcomes in terms of understanding, in terms of analysis, in terms of creative thinking. Now I want to tell you 1 or 2 examples. How many of you know Professor Mashelkar? He was the former chairman of University Grants Commission. I heard that he delivered a talk sometimes back in this institution. Now he was one of the widely acknowledged scientists the country has produced. And he was awarded with the highest civilian award from the government of Australia. So he went to receive the award and he was asked to speak on a subject. He was given the freedom to choose a topic. He chose a topic, he was not knowing what to speak at all. Instantly, he scribbled something and started speaking on a topic which all of you laugh. It's called Gandhian engineering. So what is Gandhian engineering? What is related to Mahatma Gandhi and engineering? This is something the people started asking. They were just keeping their minds wide open to listen what he is going to talk about. Now all of you know from the pages of history that Mahatma Gandhi, after a successful career in South Africa, came back to India and traveled across the country using the available railway system, and he found that enough cotton was grown because India is rich in black cotton, and this was exported to the UK, and they made the ready-made garments and used to sell here at a profit. He thought that he wanted to do something to make it indigenous, and India is such a huge population and all are poor basically, they are not rich like today. So he invented charaka. Charaka was an invention of Mahatma Gandhi. He was not an engineer. Because abundant wood was available, he invented charaka and used the cotton to weave the thread, and again gave the bread and butter millions to Indians. So that means a small idea reaching the mass. So this is basically called Gandhian engineering. So therefore friends, you are coming with so much of energy, so much of talent, so much of creative thinking in the first year. I know that you are rich in thoughts. You see the country around, you see the places around. There may be many things, however silly it is, everything is valuable, everything is a partial solution to a major complex problems. We do believe in your strength and confidence. So people, when you discuss together, you evolve ideas. And ideas which reaches the mass for this particular country, they are very, very important. And this institution is well poised to cater to such needs. The ideation is very important, and translating this ideation into a reality, there are facilities here, there are faculty members, there is enough patronage and funding available in this institution. So not even 10% of the whole institution have these kind of facilities that all of you are sitting and going to enjoy over next 4 years' time. So skill development is very important. And one more example I want to give you. You may have heard about Stanford University in the United States of America. 2 students from Stanford University, they were just moving over the beach, on a sunny day. They found that, hundreds of cars are exposed to sunlight, and once you get into the car, you need to burn enough fuel in order to make it cool. So that means it used to consume a huge amount of petrol to take away the radiations inside the car because of the huge heat. Now they simply, invented a reflector. Most of you have seen that, the front, window, the screen is basically covered by a reflector. So they used to sell for $5, and within, a month's time, they became billionaires. So windshield is just, small, application, a reflector, okay, you just uncover it, and then the car radiation is reduced to maximum extent. So this is a small idea which reaches the mass. So therefore, from today, when you go home, when you sit, start discussing these ideas which reaches potential applications in the country. Our country is predominantly agriculture rich. Can you do something for agriculture people? Can you look at some way where you can overcome some of the problems in the environment? So these are the things that you need to look. And skill development means the knowledge that you study need to get translated into hands-on. To that extent, you need to have skill-based training. I recommend all of you to whatever colleges basically recommend to acquire that skill. It's an additional knowledge. Among these 700 plus students, some of you may be very meritorious and good in mathematics. Those who are good in mathematics, they are going to rule the world tomorrow. Because the 21st century research doesn't depend on heuristic knowledge, the existing knowledge. You need to create something which is already available beyond that. Some of the major applications that you can anticipate in engineering after your 4 years, during your next 10 years journey could be interplanet travel by the humans from one planet to another planet, micro delivery of your drugs into the brain, insertion of carbon tubes to take away the blocks in a small, artery in the brain without conducting surgery, microsurgery, nanosurgery, nanoparticles, okay? And many more things are likely to come which you are not actually seeing the applications. In next 10 years, this engineering is going to be a marvel. And America and China, they are sitting on the forefront of this technology. With all of you, don't settle down to mediocre, jobs of 4 lakhs or 10 lakhs. You have the potential to do something beyond for this country. And our beloved Dr. Pandian said that, you need to give job givers. This small idea can lead to a big company. And those two people who established Microsoft, okay, and Bill Gates was not a great engineer, he was a dropout, right? And Satya Nadella, was a student of Manipal Institute of Technology, and he is a CEO. He didn't do actually from Harvard or Stanford. It is a lateral thinking that really makes a big thing. And believe that philosophically, that each one of you are born to create something new. During your lifetime, take a note that you have to create something new, very useful to the system and leave footprint for the next generations to follow. So therefore, skill development and measuring the learning outcomes in the classroom at the end of your journey is very important. And rightly said that learning inside the classroom is minimal, but engaging you, working outside the classroom in terms of assignments and projects, these are the things that are practiced in all IITs and all American and European universities. So therefore, if a professor gives a tough homework, don't say tough. It's a challenge, and a group assignment should be solved taking into account supplementary reading, searching through Google and listening to the videos. All kind of materials are available today. So therefore, the world has so much of knowledge today, and you have to take this 21st century with a challenge. So therefore, I wish that this particular institution will provide everything that you need here. It's one of the best institutions I have ever seen in this part of the world, and therefore you are fortunate. I congratulate the founders and all the faculty members who have really created a wonderful space for learning, and believe that the students here assembled will create a big difference and take this university name to greater heights in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Great institution, which we name it as Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management under the aegis of Bandari Foundation. Down on the dais, we have three gods again: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwari, Jagannath Chauta, Devdas Hegde, and Srimati Bandari, a secretary of Bandari Foundation and a member of Governing Council of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. All the three dignitaries, along with the pujaris whom you see, one is the young and energetic principal and a popular teacher, a first year students especially. We find along with these three, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwars, the young and energetic, a well-read faculty members of this great institution, along with the finance manager sitting in the front bench of the college. Really, today we are overwhelmed, sir. All the three have expressed very good opinion about the institution, and they have given a lot of input, not only to the students, but also to our faculty members. Of course, Mr. Pandian did express and wish all the first year young budding engineers of this. Of course, along with the students, the parents have also been invited, sir. They are also there. They are witnessing the deliberations of this great institution. All these members, for the information of the students, they were also part of our administration. Mr. Pandian, Professor Nagbhushan, and Srimati Uma Devi. Along with the management, they are the guiding spirit for all of us. They have not only blessed us, blessed all of you with the showering words that you have admitted to a great institution. During the course of discussion, earlier to this session, in the Governing Council meeting, most of them have expressed that this comes under the top 10% of the colleges of this entire country. That means to say, dear students, you are fortunate enough to get the seat in this great institution with the support of your parents and the government of Karnataka. Therefore, all the words what they have expressed, all the opinion what our guests have expressed, sir, from the management side and from the college side, we fully endorse the view what all of you have expressed with respect to academics as well as the administration. Just for the information of the parents who have gathered here and to the students who have admitted to this college for the first time, let them know that this institution is an institution of excellence. This institution has been recognized by Government of Karnataka. It has been recognized by VTU, Vishweshwaraya Technological University. This has been recognized by University Grants Commission, which is an apex body of the education of Government of India. So much so, DST has also accorded a permission to this college as a scientific and industrial research organization. Furthermore, we have a accreditation from Ministry of Education and accreditation for all the eligible courses taught in this college as accredited by NBA. So, such an institution in which these boys have been admitted. This college has got the full infrastructure to cater to the needs to become a full-fledged engineers. Therefore, it is up to the students community who have admitted to make use of the best opportunity with respect to laboratories, with respect to launch pads, with respect to recreational facility what is available, with respect to the teaching community. Highly graded, highly qualified and energetic faculty members are available. To make use of them is an important task. Therefore, I request all the budding engineering students to make use of this facility. We are here to promise you that all the facility what is available will be rendered to you. But it is your eagerness, how best you utilize. As you are in the first year, I would like to give a small, a time management in which one of my Professor Kama was mentioning that if a person, as per the life expectancy of a person, which is rated as 70 years, if any person lives for 70 years, it is said he has calculated by scientific calculation, 25 years the entire person will be sleeping. In the 70 years of age, on an average 8 hours if you calculate, 25 years he will be sleeping. Maximum of 8 years you will be studying. You may say we have done 12 years of +2, up to +2, and 2 years of LKG, UKG, further this 4 years of engineering. Then furthermore postdoctoral, doctoral, MTech, whatnot. He has calculated on an average that hardly 8 years one can study for their graduate and postgraduate courses. He also calculated that 7 years in the tenure of education we will enjoy holidays in the colleges during the tenure of the education. Then 6 years in rest and illness. You see all this, how time can be manipulated. If all these kind of activities what we have in our lifetime, if we can tune that little bit, effective and productivity can be addressed in our professional development. It is also said, he has calculated that 5 years in commuting, going here and there, coming to the college, admitting to the college, and then doing all these transact businesses. 4 years only for teaching, not teaching, eating. We will be taking 4 years of age in the lifetime of 70 years for eating purposes, drinking purposes, etc. And 3 years in transition of doing all these activities. Rest of effective tenure of 12 years is left in 70 years of age for an effective professional activity. Therefore, my dear friends, make use of this time chart and time flow. Try to alter either 1 hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes in any one of these events, reducing and adding to the professional development. Thereby, you can be a wonderful technocrats, wonderful scientists, and wonderful managers which are required to the society. With these few words, let me congratulate all of you once again for being admitted to the Sahyadri College of Engineering. and Management. And further, double congratulations to all my parents, not my parents, my students' parents, who have admitted their wards to this great institution to trying their professional career in this great alma mater. With this, thank you once again for all of you. Thank you.
Our students have proved their talents at different streams, which was conducted. I request Sri K. Pandyarajan to hand over the prize to the winners. The first place for the solo dance goes to Divya Nadi from section D, goes to Teja Shri, J section for English, Babita Pujari, section X for Hindi, Ryan. Debate competition, first place goes to Venkatesh and Soham from section F. Second place goes to Gagan and Ashish from section D. For translation, first place goes, second place goes to Sparsha for Kannada, section F. Painting, first place goes to Jeevan K, section C. Second place goes to Spurti Achar, section D. Thank you, CED. I request team coordinators to come and take the prizes. Winners for Voters Awareness Contest of Section A. Second place, goes to Anaga. Of F section. Singing competition, Mayur and team, A section. Video making competition, first place goes to section A. I request the class representative Shreyas winners of Euphoria quiz competition. First place goes to G section, Shavya Kojian. Nimhat, Pravardhan, N. Nandesh.
Warm and graceful afternoon to our most valued chief guest, management committee, entire fraternity of Sahyadri and my dear students, as well as one and all gathered over here. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. We at Sahyadri do believe in this. I'm Dr. Prashant Rao, HOD of Basic Science, here to express my gratitude to our chief guest of the day, Sri K. Pandyarajan, former Minister of Tamil Nadu. You graced us with your invaluable time and suggestion. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Sahyadri College and I convey my regards and hearty thanks to our chief guest Srimati Uma Devi SY, CEO and Member Advisory Council. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank Professor Nagbhushan TN, Executive Director of East-West Group of Institutions, Bangalore. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to thank our chairman, Dr. Manjunath Bhandari, even in his absence. This year is very special for us as you lead us to a lot of victories. And I also thank Mrs. Prasanna Bhandari, ma'am, for her gracious presence. I also thank all our trustees of the college for enhancing the grace of the event. I'd like to thank our Director of Research, Dr. Manjappa Sarathi, sir, for being with us today. Thank you, sir. Allow me to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Rajesh S., for his constant support. Thank you, sir. I also thank Professor Akshay Shetty for being the voice of the day. A special thank to a team of students who welcomed the guest with a chande. Very warm thanks to them. I also extend my thanks to all the faculty members and dear students for their enormous cooperation in organizing this mega event. Finally, dear students, without you, this may not have any meaning. You are such a good audience. Thank you all.
Mrs. Prasanna Bhandari, ma'am, to hand over the memento for our chief guest, Srimati Uma Devi, ma'am.